You started your therapy practice because you wanted to. Now you see everyone doing this online stuff. You're like, oh, they're doing this online course, they're doing this online thing, and you want to do it too. Well, are you getting distracted by what everyone else is doing? The answer is yes. Stay for this conversation because it's going to be really good. I'm going to share with you some insights that I had. I was just at a recent mastermind. My name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist. Over 10 years ago, I started my therapy clinic, and over 5 years ago, I started Hand Therapy Secrets. And I have two businesses. Most business people are like, you have to focus on one and you have to focus on one because if you focus on too many different things, it's going to distract you. I know. It is such a distraction. Let me tell you, it is very hard to constantly switch your brain from doing this business versus doing this business. And that's because they're different, like perfect people. They're different clients that I'm essentially, one is like people with pain and the other one's like I'm talking to students. I had a strategy though. And it might seem like it was a distraction, but there was a strategy behind that distraction. But here's what I'm seeing. I was just recently at a business mastermind talking to other business owners, and I've been getting this over the last 5 years or more because I started doing my online business. And so I would get a lot of business owners that I talked to, other physical therapists, business owners, other occupational therapists, business owners, and they're like, oh, you're doing this online thing. I want to do that. And you have to ask yourself, are you getting distracted by it? I have to ask myself, am I getting distracted by it? Because it's not that I don't have a shit ton of ideas. I have a ton of ideas. I have to manage my manager as well because she has tons of ideas. She's like, well, we can do this online program. I'm like, yeah, we can do this online program. Guess what? Are we getting distracted from the key purpose and strategies that we're focusing on? You have to ask yourself, how much time does it take to create this new thing? How much time does it take to create this new thing? How much time is it going to take for you to market and sell this new thing? How much time is it? And who is doing it? Who is doing it? Right? So my manager's always coming to me, oh, I have this great idea. We should do this. We should do that. My first question is, who is fucking doing this? Because I have enough things to do. I always joke around. I'm a little bit older and I grew up watching In Living Color. If you guys can find that clip, there was a skit where the guy comes in and he's Jamaican. He's like, oh, I have, someone will come in and they're like, oh, I have 2 jobs. And then someone else, like an Asian will come in like, oh, I have 5 jobs. And the Jamaican will come in. It's like, oh, I have 14 jobs. I feel like the Jamaican. I feel like I have 14 jobs. Not only do I have 2 companies, but I have a lot of different little things because I'm still a small business, right? I'm still a small business. I'm not yet one of those millionaire companies. And they're like, I only sit in the CEO seat. No, I'm not sitting in the CEO seat. I mean, I am, but I've got my marketing hat on. I've got my finance hat. I'm still treating therapists. I'm still training my therapist. I'm still, training and working with my manager. And so I still sit in a lot of the seats, but are you getting distracted, Huang? Is this a distraction? And if the third question, because you can create an online program in 2 seconds, like it does not take that long. You can get caught up in the perfectionism of it, right? But then you have to sell it, right? You have to sell it. You have to market and sell it because nobody's going to find your shit if you don't market it. I actually was on a forum and it was something about the book. So I just published a new book and I was looking through this forum. They were asking questions. This one guy was like, I wrote this amazing book. This book can help everybody. I don't understand why nobody's buying it. Somebody goes, there's like 40 million books on Amazon. You think someone's going to find your book? He's like, you got to market your shit. Nobody's going to find it just because you think it's fantastic and great. I think my shit's fantastic and great. And I still have to do a lot of things to market and sell it. And I just got to educate people about it. I got to show up over time and time again. And I have to share to a very specific group of people, like how that's going to help them. My book is the exam practice questions book. My book is an exam practice question. So it's a very niche to therapists who want to study to become a certified hand therapist. I have patients, I have family, I have friends who are like, oh my God, what's your book? I want to support you. I'm like, I know you want to. Thank you so much. But it really only fits a very particular group of people. It's not a book that people are just going to read. It's not a novel. It doesn't have stories. It just has questions, right? No one's going to find it if I don't go and do stories about it, tell more people, have those people who see it, share it with their friends, right? So we can have a great product. I can think my product is the bomb diggity, but I have to market and sell it. And the third question that I'm constantly asking, who is doing it? If I'm the only person doing it, then it is a distraction. If there's an overall general purpose, then you have to stick with the plan and the strategy. So when I started Hand Therapy Secrets over 5 years ago, I was teaching a few years before that, but I didn't officially start Hand Therapy Secrets. And it was because I knew that in the niche that I'm in, I was going to have a really hard time finding therapists who had the skills that I needed. And therapists want more money. They want to work when they want to work, and they want all these benefits, right? How am I going to give that to them? How am I going to attract people who want to come and work with Huang as a small business? It's not enough for someone to say like, oh my God, Huang, I love you. I want to work with you. I want you to mentor me. Yeah, but bitch, I still got to pay you a whole salary. Where is that coming from, right? So my whole purpose of Hand Therapy Secrets was to develop a training program where I would train therapists in the way that I would like someone to work with me. And the strategy was it was going to save me time, and it was also going to attract the right people who wanted to work with me. So I had a big overarching strategy over why I was doing what I was doing. And then once I committed to doing it, I needed to commit and hammer it down. So my clinic business took a hit. So people are like, oh my God, just because you run two businesses doesn't make I'm not making hand over fist. I mean, soon, right? Some days, some years, right? But you take a hit. You take a hit from a finance, from a time, from a family. There's things that happen. So my question to you is, are you getting distracted? Because I see people coming in and seeing what I'm doing, but they're also seeing what a bunch of other people are doing, and they forget the behind the scenes. So I'm at this business mastermind, and this woman who just started her business, I want to say she just started about 2 years ago, right? She's doing well, but she doesn't have systems set up. She doesn't have staff. She doesn't have like a real big strategy, right, on why she's creating this online course. But she's like, well, I think I can create this online course. So let me tell you about these online courses. You have to market the shit out of them. I have a friend who he started with his clinic. He got everything going. He has staff. He has a manager. I think he has a manager. Yeah, he has a manager, but he had several different staff members, therapists doing the actual treatment. And then he went all in on creating content and developing online courses and programs. And then in doing so, he had to hire 2 more people to help with all the marketing that he has to do. And he has to put in a ton of time. So I only put in so many hours to create the videos that I create. He was like tripling it because he wasn't necessarily treating. So he could put the time that he bought back from hiring therapists into creating the online content and creating a lot of videos to support that. So I think that, this person who was getting distracted, right, started to think, oh, like online is easier. Online is not easier, it's just different. And so I am doing this a podcast, this video to remind myself, Huang, where are you getting distracted? Because you want to create an online program, you want to do this, you want to write another book, you want to create a new class. We are not, if you're if you're starting your own business, you are not short of ideas. it really comes down to you have to have some discernment. Are you getting distracted because you don't want to do the other shit that is working? Are you getting bored? I love doing a lot of shit because I do get bored. One of the things I've realized about myself in the last 10 years is I get bored with stuff and then I just want to burn that shit down. Well, it took a lot of work to build this shit up. I shouldn't burn it down, right? But the distractions, the shiny new objects, oh, but they're doing this and they look like they're doing so well, so I want to do what they're doing. It is a distraction, and you as a business owner, you have to have a discernment on what is distraction and what is actually true to sticking with the strategy that you know. I started Hand Therapy Secrets over 5 years ago because 2 years before that, I started teaching. And I was like, I really like this teaching space. I don't want to do it for the university system because I'm still very entrepreneurial in my mindset. And I've always wanted to, way back when I first took my first PAM course, coming out of school, and I saw somebody, I was like, wow, they are so knowledgeable. They're so smart in their thing that I would love to one day be able to be so smart in the thing that I know that I can teach it. So it's always been in the back of my mind. I just didn't know how it was going to look. But I knew once I started teaching at the university level that that wasn't my cup of tea to be in the university level. So I needed to do it from an entrepreneurial space, which I am. But when I started my therapy clinic, really quickly, I started to realize, oh my God, I need so much money. I need money to hire people. I need money to run my business. I need money to pay myself because we don't want to work for free, right? Working for free, burnout, resentment, all those words, right? And I don't want to live like that. That's just my personality. I don't want to live like that. I want to be content in what I'm doing. I want to feel purposeful in what I'm doing. All those things. And so when I started out my business, 2 years into my business, I knew that I needed to hire a therapist to help me. That if I was supposed to grow my business and if I was supposed to help more people, because I felt like that was my purpose, then I needed to hire a therapist. And the hiring of the therapist was, unfortunately, a lot of therapists with no experience. A lot of therapists saying that they want to become a certified hand therapist, but you didn't necessarily see any action behind it. Probably because they didn't know what to do. And I was saying the same things over and over and over. And so I was like, I can move into that space. So it took me a while. It took me about 5 years into getting my business going and then hiring my first therapist who drained the money out of the business, truth be told, because I wasn't busy enough. And, I lost a lot of money on that hire at that time. But what that taught me and what that helped me was that I used that time. I didn't just use it sitting down and crying like, oh my God, I'm losing all my money. She's not busy. No, I used that time to train her, to teach her, and to record videos. And that is how that grew, that concept and that idea and the things that I was doing for my clinic business. That's what grew into Hand Therapy Secrets. And at that time, yes, I was asked that question, Huang, are you getting distracted? Are you just jumping on this bandwagon and are you just trying to do something new? And yes, everything is falling on me. Who's doing this? Huang's doing this. What about this? Huang's doing this. What about this? Huang's doing this. So a lot of things were falling on me, but is this a distraction? No, there was a higher purpose and higher strategy. And then once I developed that higher purpose and that strategy, then it was all about my ability to execute on it and my ability to stick with it, even as my clinic was not growing, was sort of like falling behind a little bit. Behind, I use loosely, but I had grown it to a certain level. And then, it hit you too. It hit me too. COVID hit 2020, right? It hit us all. And it derailed any plan that you had. So you had to reimagine what that was supposed to look like. And I had to ask myself the same question. Is this a distraction? And my answer was no. So I went all in on Hand Therapy Secrets to build it out to what you see today. And it is the thing that helps me to train staff, not only my own staff that I hire, teach them, train them on how I like to work, think, and stuff like that before they even come. Like a I've developed a training system. I've developed a hiring system. A lot of great things have come from Hand Therapy Secrets because it wasn't my distraction. It was my purpose. Ask yourself those questions, like you really have to be honest with you. Is this a distraction? Is this a distraction? Who's creating it? Who's marketing and selling it, and who's carrying out all those tasks, right? All those tasks, who's carrying it out? Because if it's you and it's you and it's you, it might be a distraction. I get those all the time. I'm getting the itch to do something new, and I'm like, oh my God, let me not fuck it up. I already have other things in the pipeline. Well, you need to not have more shit in the pipeline. I hope this question helps you. I hope this topic helps you, because I was at a business mastermind and so many people had the same problem, getting distracted with more shit and more shit. And it is more than just wanting something. It is more than just having the money to buy something. It is more than just creating it. It is about, like, if you're going to create something, who's going to market, who's going to sell, who's going to be doing the work? Is creating an online course a distraction for you? It might be your purpose, like it was mine, or it might just be a fucking distraction. Go knock that shit off and go do what you're supposed to be doing. Let me know if this topic helps you. Leave me a comment. My link's below. If you're having that question and if you're struggling with the answer, we can work together. Let me know. All right? I'll see you next time.